Okay, then good day, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally getting to the important part. We are getting our tuning stones, because that was our whole goal today, that we would essentially yoink away the Evernight and the Genesis tuning stone, as we are going for a bunch of Melphis with the community while playing the nuclear corpse explosion Necro. So howdy and good morning to all of you. Happy Saturday for everyone that just tuned in. Take all my stones and then let's rock and roll.
I'm not ready yet.
Generally, you want every glyph on 21 because it's just free damage. Like, there's no discussion how much more damage is a glyph from 15 to 21. The answer is it's just free damage. Why would you say no to that, right? Why would you say no to more damage for existing? Because if you already activated a glyph, if you already put your points in, then at that point, it's just a question of more. I'm going to be the slowest. I'm going to be the very best, like no one ever was. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know what Neil said where I'm going, but here I am. In the right lane? Yeah, I think I took the right thing, hopefully. Doesn't matter. I'm faster. Neil can't stop me. So we're doing Melphis with the community. Not because this build can't do it alone. It can. We tried. It's just a simple, like, we already have so many cores and everyone gets a chance to get their thing, and it just takes a quarter of the time. And like literally a quarter of the time, right? Because there's 4 lanes you have to run down, and that's why you have 4 people. Finding the right mushroom cloud for a nuclear explosion is hilarious. It's actually, it's at one point hilarious, at the other time sad. Because we're essentially looking for AI explosions of nuclear stuff while there have been nuclear explosions happening in real life, right? You're just sitting there and needing it for a thumbnail. Like, it's like sad and fun at the same time. Okay, we could just AFK this room, but that's not the point, right? We need to get this done fast for the lads and ladies. Oh, I should activate Army for the Dead. Yeah, I'm working like here on minimal damage. We'll be doing more. Okay, we need pans. The pans is the only thing I'm taking here right now, since pans are an integral part of this build, and I need another pans with +4. Right? Also, yes, the mobilytics to this build exists, chat. Oh, that's my first unique. The mobilytics to this build exists. It's actually in the YouTube live stream, in the description. So we have it there. Good. Now, while we're waiting for the team, let's quickly check. Thorns, Crawford tool intelligence, no useless. Another mutilator plate. I cannot count. Like, this is like my 10th. It's okay, Katie. We're waiting. Oh, and I need new boots with essence cost reduction and everything. Look at you, beautiful. Deathless Visage, Bone Spear, Flicker Stab, Serpentine, Litless Wall. And then you get Mr. Neil. Neil's a bit crazy. He's like with Godslayer Crown, Rainman, and his Flicker Stab. Then you also get his Talrashus and the Ring of Starless Skies. Him. PS4 loading screen is going to kill us. We got time. Don't you worry. You have 37 cores, Blazed. I mean, Blazed, if we run out of cores, I mean, Neil said he had 70. Katie said she had also 60. So we're kind of there. Is Blood Surge a viable leveling build? Blood Surge is the viable leveling build, together with Summoner and also Bone Spear. They're all working extremely well and very good. So a high recommendation in general to essentially check these out for leveling. I'm just quickly waiting. There they are. See, Katie's just flying through. Then we kill Melphis and we get it. So yesterday we did like 8. And I didn't get a single one. But I want this right now, since we figured out that for our corpse explosion, we do 91,000 damage, guys. and 4 more ranks. So let me put 4 ranks off. This is 4 ranks off, okay? You're losing. Oh, that's my weapon, so I can't really do that. I need to put like 3. I can put 3 ranks off, okay? 3 ranks. That would bring us down by 10,000 damage, right? I mean, 3 ranks in this at this point is, here's 189%, and this is 168%. So 21% less. It's like 25% for actually getting 4 more ranks of damage. Like my standard corpse explosion is just gonna do over 100,000 damage without critting or anything, without a single multiplier. That's crazy, isn't it? I would really like to see how much a corpse explosion does base, also with a Harlequin crest. That would probably be up to 150k base. We're just nuking him? Yeah, we're just nuking him. we're 4 people. We're just simple. Here, Kitty's just killing that, and then we got this. The dream done and undone. Slay the Headsman. I've never actually looked at them having all different names. Take him to dinner? No dinner, only corpse explosions. Which reminds me that we haven't redone the skin of the scythe. Are there any cool one-handed scythe skins out there? I know the shop has a good one, and I am tempted to buy Chan. I've been tempted to buy many times the actual Necro set that has like, see, there's the Grim Harvest set, not so special, but there's like the, here, him, like, right, the Spectral King. I've been tempted, not gonna lie. Oops, where am I going? To get that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful skin. Out of my way, we're running. A bossy necromancer. Ball of lighting cheese. And corpses and dead. Oh, that was a 9 million. That was cute. Okay, nothing. But now comes the time chat. Boom. Genesis, Evernight. No. Okay, next one. We're getting there today. We're getting there. Want, no need. Overpower, blood orbs. Bone spirit. Okay, everything goes into the trash can. Can reset the dungeon quickly. See if there's a good scythe skin. Always found the scythe skins in general a little bit lame, right? There isn't like anything too crazy. Not bad. Here. I caught one of your live, Jeremiah. Good to see you there. It's a special Saturday live. Usually we are not live on Saturdays, but we have like a Carnival's party tomorrow, German Carnival, and I'm gonna be busy with the children. So that's where we are right now here. Gonna enjoy some time. Gonna try to do some farms, talking about the nuclear necro. Can't wait to do the actual build guide for this and tell people to get 7 Paragon boards. You know, people are going to go crazy about that. They're like, how am I going to be activating 7 Paragon boards? I'm going to get 2 lanes done, Chan. Hurry up. I've seen Robo Mommy out in the wild before. Yeah, it's Robo Mommy, Robo Daddy, and Robo Granny. My other characters last season were all Vampire Mommy Daddy and everything, right? Because this was the vampire theme. And now we're actually out here with the robotic theme, so And I could have also named them T1000, 2000, 3000, right? I blame you for this. Keep respecting my Necromancer after what you videos. Yeah, let's go. Necromancer's life. Oh shit! Did I open the door and that's why you're not getting the wards? Wait, does everyone have to get the wards before opening the door? Oops. That made him. Yeah. Well, sorry. That's on me. Well, luckily I wasted my own course for that one. Well, yeah. So today I learned that I'm scamming the community. Now I finally know what Neil said about like don't let Pony scam you. Was the best sorcerer this season, Frost Blizzard. I mean, Blizzard is really easy to get together, but I've seen Ball of Lightning Swords going absolutely crazy. Like, you have to consider that if you're going for the leaderboard, you'll need something that's fast and agile and that never has to stop zooming and preferable kills instant. So I guess probably still Ball of Lightning. I mean, I've seen good Meteor Swords as well. And my Blizzard Sword is overperforming, if you want to be going with that. Oh, Bleeding Support finally upgraded. How do I not have every glyph like completely upgraded? It seems like so impossible to just not have every glyph upgraded. And they told me definitely once, and I was like, hashtag Pony didn't pay attention. So what do we have? Like, so we're missing slowing, bleeding, frigid. That's literally it. And safeguard. Safeguard is not up. Wow, robbery. Everything else is up. Imagine the Evernight in the Genesis. They would have actually not been max level, Chan. Imagine it for a second. That they wouldn't actually have been max leveled. Can you? That would have been crazy. Oh, did Velo go AFK? Are we missing Velo currently? I think we're missing Velo. Apparently, Necros do have to level it up too. You have a nice stream. Your minion build for Necro is still reliable. Yes, Judge. The minion build has cleared tier 100s. And the there's another minion build that's actually also using Black River. But that minion build is not really focusing on minion damage. It's only going to be focusing on Ring of Mendown damage. So I'm loath to actually call the minion build. It's more like minions are part of the build. The minion build is just minions are part of the build. The companion, well, this build here right now does actually use the damage companion. And due to the way how we're boosting everything and how many glyphs we're having active, the companion does significant amounts of damage. It's actually rather funny when it comes down to that. And how much damage he really pulls out. So high recommendation to sometimes do that regarding the build you're playing. Get some corpse explosion back here. Luckily I can send the corpse explosion in from anywhere I want. The fun part about the build, right? My corpses, they travel. I can just send them in. So sorry, that was me like robbing you your chests. Now I know better. Probably the bad juju for the day. Oh, I got one. Chad, I got it. Woo! That was quick. The first one. Which one is it? Oh, it's the one with 4 ranks too. Yay! Yay! That was quick. I mean, now we need the other one too, right? To get the most out of it. Okay, so now with 4 more ranks, we're going to be at 22. That means my corpse explosion, which has a standard of like 91,000 when we're out in the wild, can go even higher, right? So, well, now we have to throw an eye on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Now that does make a man happy, because right now we're always playing Safeguard for more damage reduction, and I will miss that, right? As usual, streamer RNG, Sean. Yeah, I know. Ridiculous streamer RNG. But isn't Evernight bad? Evernight is bad on Flesh of Adrenaline. I would have to use Evernight on the other side, correct? So I'd actually have to let go of my damaging ped. Evernight is like every 2 seconds, so we need it on an ability that actually casts every 2 seconds, right? So I'd have to go back to my Tempest shebang. But that would make me unhappy because I wanted to have my bot do damage. I still have my bot do damage? I can have just my bot do higher critical strikes for the YOLOs. Does it do damage over time? Can I have my bot be like very mean to bosses and go like crazy? With Gyrate versus bosses or Impale. When I also tried out, what was it? A Bushwhack once because it was kind of funny. It's like the 40% multiplier on the multiple hits. So you go for Bushwhack, right? And you go for burning support. So he does crit higher. And then you actually go for not multi-shot. I think, was it Arcing? Like it says quickly ambush up to 12 targets, but it can strike the same target twice. So you can also 12 times strike the same target. You know? It's kind of like really, really funny. He goes like, do, 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 do. I don't know if you've ever tried it out, but Bushwhack with a high crit build makes him actually like versus bosses like a real meanie. Okay, I need to reset this. Sorry for letting you wait, Chan. Okay, let's see where this is bringing us now. Tempest with Arcing. Yeah, you do usually use Tempest with Arcing too, but for this build, we don't need it that way. So usually Tempest with Arcing because I need breaking or resource or anything like that. But I do not need breaking, resource, or anything like that. I simply don't. When I don't even need Frigid, I don't need Husk. I need nothing. Nothing of this. Like no more support than I'm already getting. So might as well take Bushwhack there. The Sorcerer build is already linked, Universe, under the Sorcerer stream. You can actually check it out there right now. Go to Sorcerer live stream, and there is a link to the mobilities. Already posted it. Okay, now with the more ranks. See, 109,000, chat. My standard corpse explosion now with all the ranks, when all the ranks are activated to 22. Like, look at that. Almost 200,000 when the multipliers are multiplying. Woo, that's crazy. Like 200,000 base. I mean, the highest I've seen already was like, what did we see? 12, 13 million. And now I got another 28% in total. Wait, do your attack because I need to see the multiplier. It's 189 standard. Right, now he did his ability. I need to see him bushwhacking around, Chan. Bushwhack something. It's 189. So it's 217. I feel like Bushwhack might be a bad ability because he's taking like too long to bushwhack things. Right? He has a cooldown between bushwhacks where we're waiting for him to do it. We might actually have to do Tempest. It's kind of sad. So, but like he's just not like permanently up, you know? I'm not sure if it's permanently up during a fight. Let's actually see if it's permanently up during a fight. Like I'll just go AFK and hover with the mouse over it. Should work out. Doctor Business, good to see you there. How you doing, brother? So like here, let's see. Right now 217. See, now it's off again. Nah, it's kind of up enough. I just want my bot to do a little bit of damage, but it doesn't work that way. What's the yellow aura on you? The player highlight. Under gameplay, then you scroll all the way down, player highlight. Okay. Your main damage comes from the key passive, right? No. My key passive does 0 damage. I have no key passive damage. Absolutely none. Not a single key passive damage point. It's actually quite sad. No key passive damage. Yeah. Sadness. All right, you know what? I guess I could technically put safeguard support over here. Then I have safeguard, Arcing, and Evernight for no reason, right? I mean, just so he does that. We could even go for gripping support to just have him pull things together. So here, gripping support, so he pulls things bonus together. That would actually work for the build. I just don't see like I kind of want him to actually do some damage, but there's like no damage he actually does. So the problem is that Corpse Explosion does have no key passive that helps Corpse Explosion. There's a key passive that helps Bone Spear, but we're actually not using Bone Spear, right? So like we have also the Shadow key passive that would technically help with the Shadow stuff. But we're also not doing Shadow stuff. We're essentially just making corpses and having fun. Right, so I can just do as high corpse. Oh, 11 million, Chad. There's just a random 11 million. That's what I wanted to see. Everything is working exactly out as I was wishing for. Perfection. So many angry people hearing about the Uber unique crafting. Well, I don't think like well, wait, words are hard. I think people are not seeing the greater picture. If they're already going for some Uber unique crafting, that means that we're potentially getting even more crafting. I mean, who cares about the Uber unique crafting right now? But you can see it as test 1.0 of some kind of unique crafting system. And if you look at it that way, you should be excited. And if you're not, that's fine. I mean, we can't force you to be excited. But again, right? This means corpse explosion, the higher the better. Mm-hmm. Efficiency for the crit chance. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, sir. Yeah, we could do efficiency instead of gripping. Yeah. Thank you. That's actually a legit point. We could go back to that and then just do higher crits or more reliable crits. I mean, end of the day, people are never happy because people are people and humans are shit. You know how it is. They brought the word transmute like the heraldic cube. Exactly. I mean, season 4 is item rework season. Fact. Season 3 is already getting the first crafting thing. Fact. Right? So these are two facts right now that are undeniable true. And the future might mean that there is more coming. Or not. Didn't D3 have a crafting element? Every Diablo had a crafting element to date. Apart from this Diablo. I mean, you do have a crafting in terms of item thingy. Blood build or bone lance? I mean, bone spear is easier to make. Ghost. Way easier to make. I mean, bone spear is mostly all the aspects from the Codex of Powers, so you're done. Which is the stronger build, Search or Lance? I think Lance is better for bosses. So it really depends what you're going to do. You're going to do a bunch of vault farming, then Search is better. Undeniable. Because Surge allows you to essentially just kill whole rooms with one Surge. While if you are actually doing bosses, if you're like focusing on farming tier 100s with bosses, if you want to kill Duriel, if you want to kill all these things, then Lance will be better. That being said, I mean, even if you focus on doing Duriels, you're mostly doing it with a team. So what does your performance matter anyways? Because of the crafting, you're clearly not up to date. Bart, did you not watch the video? Universe, stop giving money. Universe, you've been already way too generous. You've been a very nice person, sending me those little gifts. So appreciation and happy Saturday. But stop it. I'm not coping well with gifts. So there is crafting for Uber Uniques coming. Right now, only for Uber Uniques. That means if you're, well, it's under 10 million. So if you're right now having duplicate Uber Uniques, you'll be able to turn these duplicate Uber Uniques into other Uber Uniques, which is uninteresting for most players. Let's be real. Most players are like, fuck that. But if we already get Uber Unique crafting, we might also get normal unique crafting in the future. That's my big hope. Because I just want to be able to craft uniques, Chad. I mean, listen. If I have 10 mutilator plates, and I've had 10 mutilator plates, they're useless after the first one. I want to be able to turn 10 mutilator plate uniques into the other unique I like. Sorry that I want that, Chad, right? Sorry that I'm asking for features that would make the game more interesting for everyone. Sure, that would make the access to certain uniques easier, but I don't see the hurt in that. It's kind of like, yeah, sure, but where's the problem? You know? Who's getting hurt by that? Who's having a negative experience because of this? No one. Everyone is just having more fun. What's the rate going to be, though? We don't know. Will be easy to get uniques when you have a bunch. Exactly. Like in the beginning, you anyways only have 1, 2, 3, 4 uniques. But at this point, so I don't know if you watched the stream recently, guys, but we have been getting 15 uniques per day, partially, by pumping Nightmare Vaults. 15. And I disenchant these 15 uniques and throw them in the trash. And I have nothing from it. No advantage, nothing. But from these 15 uniques, if I now could take 10 of them to craft the one I want. But here comes the interesting part, Chad. They said it will be 5 to 1 in the patch notes. They did in Neo Gaming. They actually did not say what the ratio is. It's just implied that it could be 5 to 1. But so, like, crafting uniques doesn't mean you're getting perfect ones, right? So crafting Uber uniques still means you get the perfect Uber unique, correct? There's no question about that. But crafting normal uniques does not mean that, because if I'm crafting normal uniques, I could still get a shitty roll, correct? And I think that's where crafting normal uniques becomes interesting, because you might craft 10 and it's still not the perfect roll you're looking for, but at least you can craft 10, right? Because I'm currently looking for a Ring of Sacrilegious Souls, and if I at least could use all my unique crafting materials to craft more Rings of Sacrilegious Souls, I mean, I still have to farm those uniques, right? Before I could do it. And then my crafting easy, it will be boring. I disagree. I disagree. I mean, for the person that plays way too much, everything is boring. For the person that plays way too much, everything is boring. No matter what they put in the game, because at some point you're able to exploit it to the max. But systems like this allow the average player, 90% of the player base, to have more fun. I mean, obviously the hardcore grinders are going to be unhappy because now everyone can have the same gear as them. Still not, because you still have to farm these things, right? But yeah. I don't think it will make it boring. Diablo is online on PS5. Really love the Diablo, but I want to play with other players. Yes, it's online. It's online. If you want to play with other players, though, I mean, good luck finding them, right? They're there. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like that they're everywhere, right? Crossplay does work. You will find people, but it's often like, I mean, right now this season, sure. Whenever you're in the overworld and doing seasonal stuff, you actually see other players. Not really. But it is online, yes. So the game is online. You're playing a massive multiplayer online game. And with massive multiplayer online game, we mean 12 people per instance. So if you join a region, if I teleport, let's say, to this region here right now, then up to 12 other people could be in that region. There couldn't be hundreds. So the regions are instanced in 12 people instances, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. I think it's 12 people instances. That means that every region can hold up to 12 people. Or did they change that now? That's what I had back in the days in my mind when the game launched. Oh, it was 32. Did they actually make it 32? Oh, 28. Okay, wow. I thought it was 16. Well, that's good to hear that it's more. That makes me happy. I mean, it's still not like massive multiplayer online, right? Blah. But that at least is more, so that's not bad. Okay, could you stop exploding into me? I wish it was offline. I wish there was an option for offline because many people just can't be bothered to play online. I guess the reason why it's not offline is because they wanted to avoid some offline trainer exploit game file blah. I don't even know what should. I don't even honestly. I don't know why they would not make it offline. Yeah, cheating, duping, and then somehow bringing your offline mats to online somehow. Still doesn't seem like, you know, only because you're scared of people doing all these things, like forcing others to suffer for that. Seems weird. Oddly weird, you know? Like, only because someone could dupe or cheat, you're like being forced to then play online. And then duping and cheating is anyways happening, right? So you're literally forced to play online, but like to avoid duping. And oh god, what happened so far the last 3 seasons? Duping every single season. Oh, another unique. See, that unique would not be useless right now, chat. That's my second unique today. Ooh, oh, okay, even a good roll. Still, I just disenchanted, but if it would now give me unique crafting materials, I would be happy. Because right now I'm simply not happy, right? I'm finding this, I'm like, oh yeah, trash, I don't care. But if there was unique crafting materials, which is the most fun and effective class on console? Necromancer. Trust me. Necromancer. It's generally the most fun and unique class. Like, anyone saying different is just lying to you for personal gain. Okay, we need to start leveling the territorial glyph. That's what I decided. Good Paragon board, right, Chad? So if in case you haven't seen this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 glyphs. The one or the other has been tapped into. It's been a bit extreme, you know. Why Soul Bronze? Soul Bronze just is good damage reduction and lucky hit chance with Barrier. So Soul Bronze is in general like a very good item, and I think a lot of people actually underestimate the usefulness of Soul Bronze because it just does so amazing. Yeah, I feel like right now with a new companion build, I'm just critting more often, so that's a good thing. Critting more often, critting higher, so that's a good one. That's good. And if I could now get the other tuning stone, then we'd be going crazy. Teleport down. You go Shaco and put head aspect on the chest for this build or for the Shadow Companion build. Technically, you could do that. Yes, sure. I mean, no problems. Would work. Generally, if you have Shaco, just try to put it in. Oh, that's a higher sacrifice bonus. Finally, been actually looking for that. Not for a while now. It's just like for the last 20 minutes. Genesis number 12. Okay, Neil, can you stop getting Genesis, you hacker? Neil's hacking chat, by the way. Yeah, what a scoundrel. Not conceited. Sacrifice bonuses is higher. Brings it up to 18%. That makes me stronger. And then there's you getting grandfather yesterday. I'm not going to say that I just dropped the Black River from just doing bracers in the open world. It's actually like I've gotten more Black Rivers not from Duriel than from Duriel. I've gotten more Soul Bronze and T-Bald's Will not from Duriel than from Duriel. And chat, they are hiring the uber unique drop raid. Uber unique drop raid, chat, is being hired in the open world. So nightmare dungeons and so on will more likely drop uber uniques now, which is kind of cool. Show me a bit link description of the stream, Matthias. Come on now, brother. I got you already ahead. I mean, technically this build is better with Black River, but also you don't actually need Black River. Because if you think about it, you could also play Grandfather on this build. I mean, right now we're trying to get the highest crits possible, right? With Corpse Explosion. And currently my Corpse Explosion does another 130% bonus damage plus another 28% bonus and so on. But Grandfather kind of doubles your critical strike damage. I would like to see which one is actually doing more. The advantage of the new Corpse Explosion is the size though. Do you see the screen size? I mean, this Corpse Explosion hits the whole screen. Like here we kill everyone, okay? And this, when it really explodes all the corpses enough, it hits the whole screen. And that's something that obviously Grandfather can't do. Like see, like the size of the explosion is room wide. But technically, if you don't have Black River, you have another aspect slot free. Also, if you don't have Black River, you could be playing the Litless Wall without a downside. I can generally play the Litless Wall though, so it doesn't count. But yeah, here my Corpse Explosion is actually hitting the whole room. Like, see, look at the size, right? So that's a nice little something that your Corpse Explosion is essentially hitting like the whole room. Thank you for explaining why my Grandfather is useless. I made a YouTube video about the Grandfather. There's another unique chat. I made a YouTube video about why Grandfather is useless, and I stand by my words. My 99% is useless for Necro. There's very few use case scenarios. I'm still trying to get like a better rolled Howl from Below, because this one, like my Howl from Below has a high percentage shebang. But it could be better rolled. I think this one has a slightly higher lucky hit chance and a better corpse skill attack speed, but that's about it. I'm not mistaken. Look into that. So who does pet you get season 3 scale with Flashy? There's a whole video on that too on the platform Flashy. It scales with mostly your attack power and a lot of your multipliers, but mostly your attack power. So if you can get your attack power incredibly high, your pet also does more damage. I have a build where you can get it 100,000 and beyond. I actually had a build where you can get it like 270,000 as a Necro, which is a lot. But you have to dedicate a build to your minion, essentially, if that makes sense. Okay. You're not just gonna like naturally get it there. You'll be having to like dedicate a build to that. It sounds a bit weird, but that's just what it is. But once you get it, it's like kind of works really nice. Other two are junk. Honestly, the stun is actually nice because the stun could lead you to staggering bosses way faster. And if you stagger, you just do more damage versus bosses. That's a useful one. Or more useful than you sometimes want to give it credit to. Divinus Furore, thank you for the 8 months of support. Welcome to the Knights of the Round Stable. Us. Howdy. Happy Saturday to all of you guys. What are your plans? What are you doing? I am dressing up as a pig. And I'm going to a costume party with the waifu. No, it's not one of those German kinky costume parties. It's just a birthday, okay? Just a normal birthday. Nothing weird happening. But everyone has to dress up as different nationalities. So we're going as pigs from Spain. Because we didn't want to go full prejudicial mode on our costumes. Yeah, you buy real life cosmetics instead of Diablo. Hey, my costume locker is full. Like, you know, real estate agent, a fake doctor, a police officer, cowboy, astronaut, car mechanic, plumber, like soccer dad, insurance agent, real estate broker. Did I have real estate broker twice now? Yeah. You know, the standard costumes you're having, like, you know, as an adult. A knight. Yeah, well, I do actually have a knight, a real knight's helmet. You keep, like, you know, all the standard costumes that you have as a responsible adult. But yeah, like, obviously, no questions asked. But yeah, in-game cosmetics, too expensive, chat. Not gonna buy. I mean, I'll probably bend in at some point because there's gonna be that one cosmetic that I can't say no to. There have been a couple ones that were extremely close calls. I'm just like, you know, can I really say no to this? Can I really say no to some of these skins? My problem is that the other classes just have better looking skins. Like, I want to, like, you know, I want to buy something cool, and then I just see, like, how cool skins partially the other classes have, and I'm kind of like, Feels scammed, man. Tree of Whisper's full, that's fine. I mean, we're not Tree of Whispering right now. We're just having fun corpse explosioning around and killing things. No, you know, the usual. We're just having fun murdering. He just got staggered, poor guy. Beautiful. The female rogue beauty's a sin, but that's not that chains and whips excite me skin, right? No? This is the one? There was this undergarment rogue skin. Every class but druid has some cool skins. I saw some cool druid skins. But yeah, it's like, I don't know why that is, but it seems like I'm not going to say the developers are biased or the team people are biased, but it feels like there's more effort going in certain classes. And what I'm asking myself, does that have to do with player ratios? I mean, they obviously have the stats, who's playing what the most. I mean, Necromancer and Sork are the most played classes, and that's where I'm like, maybe I just don't like the skins, but like, it makes no sense that like you could say, if Necromancer is the most played class, you feel like, why wouldn't they put the most effort into it? I mean, the stats say Necro and Sork most played class since release, but maybe right now Barb is the most played class, and that's why they're putting more effort into the Barb skins. And Druid is definitely one of the least played classes, so they're not putting much effort into the skins there, right? Play with Black River and no one knows what Black River was. I mean, everyone always knew what Black River was. It's just that we didn't use it. Wait, why can't I want to say, why can't I put like my... Because mostly it was Shadow Black River, but who is interested in Shadow Black River? I want to go back and try this build out in the Abba 12-0 now, though. You know, full physical explosion, full physical corpse explosion. The problem was that Abba 12-0 had a multiplier, and there was 60% more multiplicative damage for damage over time. But if I'm looking at the build currently, I could have played this build also in Abba 12-0 already. I'm kind of sad. I would like to give it a twirl there. And I would have to change some things to essentially make sure that my corpse explosion is always up. Like you could put on the corpse explosion aspect, and you could essentially play this like a Infinimist build, but not Infinimist, right? Just Infinimist, but without Infinimist. The build looks stronger than the Blood Search build. Well, I mean, so how do I put this now? It is stronger than the Blood Search build, yes. But you also do need... To reach the level to be stronger than the Blood Search build, you need Black River. You need Howl from Below. You need the Ring. No, you don't. Yeah, you kind of need the Ring of Sacrilegious Souls. So there's a few needs where the Blood Search build technically doesn't need much to get to that point. So I think the Blood Surge is easier to play. That being said, you could also, so this build here can be played in multiple versions. We could also make this build be an overpower build. The problem is if we make this build be an overpower build, we would have to sacrifice damage away from the corpse explosion to make the overpower work. The same goes, we could make this be a bone spear build now, chat. So you could really easily swap this over to be like a maximum corpse explosion / bone spear build. But if we do this, if we make this into a maximum corpse explosion / bone spear build, we would have to, like, we would essentially end up being a bone spear build that also does a lot of corpse explosion damage, right? And I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be a truly maximum corpse explosion build, right? You haven't seen a build around Bloodless Scream? We have a stream or two where we're actually rocking the Bloodless Stream. It is super fun, but you're using Blood Wave for that. So if you're using the Bloodless Scream to freeze people, you're using Blood Wave, and you turn Blood Wave into Shadow, and then you have a Shadow Blood Wave that comes out 3 times. That would freeze your opponent, and then also get a 50% damage multiplier on top. So you would essentially create like an absolute insane Blood Wave that is meant to just completely obliterate everything. So you would do everything to just have Blood Wave pushed as much as possible, to then essentially have just Blood Wave be your tool of mass destruction. It is a very fun build in that regard, because you're essentially just having like your Blood Wave do millions of damage, and then your X-Felt Corroded Signet on top of the Blood Wave also do millions of damage. It's kind of like a nice little combo build. This better than Bone Spear? Well, interestingly enough, Bone Spear hits for millions of damage, where this actually hits for like 12, 13, 14 million, right? So with this build, I can do one 14 million damage explosion that clears a whole room, while I can do one Bone Spear that deals like, let's say 3, 4 million. Yeah. Is this better for vault clearing? For sure. I mean, look at me. I can just stand AFK in the middle vault room, also in tier 100 dungeons. If I play the like, there's 2 versions of this build. So there's the dungeon, there's the vault clearing version, and there's the boss fighting version. See like how we're just exploding this whole room without even pulling anything together. So yeah, you notice a Bone Spear can't do that. Really funny. So yeah, there's 2 versions of the build. One is with barrier, one is without, and the one with barrier can essentially just stand AFK. I can already now stand AFK in like next to a brazier in the open world, and just I don't die. I literally don't die. I just go to a brazier in the open world, and people could summon whatever they want, and I would never die. So coming back to the topic of skins, and I've been tempted. I don't think there's any of the good skins right now in the store. That's my problem. I mean, we have the Wraith Lord, right? This one is obviously the OG skin. I want it mostly for the gloves and the shoulders, because look at the gloves. The gloves, they're just so fantastic. I don't care about the helmet. I think the helmet stings, but the gloves and the shoulders, right? Like this one, like really good. And maybe the pants, but yeah, the upper part, it's really cool. The Lover in White is shit. This one is shit. That one is shit. So like tamely. I mean, Barb really gets the coolest skins, right? But what is that? Barb just going. Then you have this one in comparison to the Barb skin. You're kind of like, what am I having there? Any hope that we get the pet in the future season, because I like it? One could hope that now, after they have tested a pet, that we might get a permanent kind of companion. I mean, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, they all used to have companions. So one could hope now that they tested the concept of a companion. So maybe we can hire someone to hang out with us for permanent buffs of any kind. I would really like that. I really miss it to have like my sword, my paladin, or whatever coming with me. That would be cool. Oh, no. Oh, God. I got robbed, Chan. I hope this was going to be another tuning stone. And look what I got, Chan. Another one. Another one. Can you kill bosses fairly enough with the corpse explosion? No. Yes, Ayush. In yesterday's stream, we did a lot of bosses alone, including, and now you say it, brain, or I'm going to punch you, Duriel, because people always ask, like, can this kill Duriel? Duriel is so hard. Can you kill him? And since we're taking Army of the Dead, Army of the Dead is essentially a very nice tool for maximum corpse production. So we're having like so many corpses then fly out of us that are surrounding the enemy to then essentially just explode them into smithereens. It's really nice. And since our corpse explosion essentially do up to 12 million damage, of 14, 15 million damage, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, you just go boom. And right now, we're essentially just improving the build to make it even stronger by adding more sacrificial aspects, which allows me to do even more damage because now my actual sacrifice bonuses, they get multiplied and multiplied to be even more dangerous. So my actual critical strike damage multiplier gets multiplied harder. My resistancer gets multiplied harder as well, which allows me then to take Paragon points. Like I can take that Paragon point out, for example, and I can force like even more intelligence into somewhere. I can do more willpower on this build. I can like take the resistance to all elements at this point completely out. So there's a lot of things that I can essentially improve to then be even more deadly, to be even more mean. Which is kind of nice, you know? Yeah. Oh, did I not reset? I didn't reset, right? Like to see a solo boss fight? We can show you. The problem is I don't have, like, I only have Varshan resources, and we all know that Varshan is just the biggest pushover in existence, right? That's the only one I can show you right now. I mean, we did Lilith yesterday to show you how much damage we do to Lilith. My problem against Lilith is not the damage. It's always, like, surviving her things, you know? Surviving the bloody balls versus Lilith, because I just can't be asked. Looks like you are really lucky to get both uniques for 6 runs. I mean, I got the one... I actually do have the one I didn't want. Because I get the one with the bonus ranks. The bonus ranks are nice. My problem with the bonus ranks are that for most builds, I don't need this. Because the bonus ranks work for my one core skill, but not for the rest of the stuff I'm using. I mean, in this build, it's actually really good with the bonus ranks, but yeah. I really wanted to have the more effectiveness one, because the more effectiveness one would just give me a fixed multiplier. Is there a YouTube video on this build? There is a link in the description of the current YouTube live stream. So if you go from Twitch over, I'm sorry, it's a bit convoluted right now. I will put this into the Season 3 document. So our Season 3 document and the Discord will also have the update coming. Tomorrow's video, if I manage to sleep enough, because that's my problem, I might come home tonight at 1 a.m. Then I need to stand up at 3 a.m. to essentially make this build guide. So it could be rough to get this done. Wait, I don't need to stream tomorrow. Actually, you're going to get this build guide 100% tomorrow. Because I don't need to stream tomorrow. That's nice. I don't need to stand up that early. I actually sleep like for 2 more hours or so. It's kind of nice. Necro, your favorite class by far. I mean, right now, like, look at what we did since the season started, guys. We did a Blood Summoner leveling build. We did a Bone Summoner leveling build. We did a Summoner leveling build. We have a Bloodlands build. We have a Summoner endgame build. We have another Summoner endgame build. That's build number 6. We have this Corpse Explosion build. That's build number 7. We have a Bone Spear build. That's build number 8. There's a Poopmancer. It's called the Poopmancer. That is going to be build number 9. Then we have the Gigadot build and the Pet Companion build, full booster. That is 10 and 11. There is Oh, the full Blood Surge endgame build, which would be then build number 12. There's the Bloodlands Boss Killer. That would be build number 13. So, like, it's 13 actual different builds that are always viable. And not only, like, you know, they're not made for fun. They're all endgame viable, fantastic builds that work and that are slaying. So yeah, why is Necro my favorite one? Because the sheer variety that he puts down is insane. If you had to choose between the Darkness and the Scorch glyph, which one would you choose? Let me check both again. Scorch was shadow damage over time. And Darkness was more shadow damage. Actually, you would take Darkness for the simple reason that pushing Darkness higher will also higher the damage of Ixfeld's Corroded Signet. Because Ixfeld's Corroded Signet does the damage type of the skill that triggered it. And since you're going to trigger Ixfeld's Corroded Signet with shadow damage over time, essentially by using then Darkness, more Darkness damage, you're going to be like forcing Ixfeld's to then do more damage. That's a nice thing. If that made sense for you. That is, I got robbed again, Chad. I got robbed again by getting unique items. Yep. There's only robbery happening. Like the crafting video. Did you like the thumbnail, Chad? I wasn't really sure if the thumbnail is going to be a bit too full. Full. I can show it in a second here for the YouTube, for the Twitch Falcon that haven't seen it yet. It was one, I'm proud of it, but it might have been a bit too much going on in the picture. And that's also why I'm not super happy with our today's live stream thumbnail, because my actual thumbnail went really hard for the crafting system. So that was the crafting system one, Chad. Ta-da. So it's crafting 2.0, where I essentially made up how it's going to look. But then we also made the one for the Nuclear Necromancer, right? And this is the Nuclear Necromancer thumbnail for today's stream. You load this right now, I'm going to punch you in the throat. Darko, good to see you there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the Nuclear Necromancer, which, like, you know, with our nuclear explosion and millions of things happening, it's a really simple image. But if you compare these two, I found like the one had so much more artistic appeal. But maybe I'm also just stuck in my own head so much that I can't see the other one being good, right? You need 5 to get 1. No. You don't need 5 to get 1, Chad. They said, so we can read this out. And like, I can see how many people think it's 5 for 1, but they left it vague. So I wouldn't like lose my hope yet. But let me pull this up because I have it actually screenshotted out just for you guys. Okay. Let me get to the point where we don't have to pay attention. I'm still not at 500 million. I'm sad, Chad. I'm spending too much money on reskilling. It's 5 you don't want for 1. Yeah, but that's 5 you don't want doesn't exist because no one has just 5 uber uniques they don't want. And with no one, I mean no one that has a life next to a computer game. Apart from Rob. Hi, Rob. No diss intended. Like, seriously, sir? Are you okay? So what it reads like is, I'll let this load. Uber unique items can now be salvaged to provide a new resource, Resplendent Sparks. Players can bring 5 sparks to the alchemist and transmute an uber unique of their choice. Now I can see why you would think that it says 5 for 1, but it just says uber uniques can be turned into Resplendent Sparks. There's no saying how many you get for disenchanting 1. No number in any way. Just can be salvaged to provide a new resource, right? but we don't know how much of that new resource. Now, 5 for 1 would just be impossible. Like, 5 for 1 is not happening. Right? You get loads of Ubers. Yeah, Wardy, but how many of your friends got loads of Ubers? Like, let's assume, like, if you have friends. But how many people do you know that have 5 Uber uniques to spare? Oh, Funko, we need a build saver in any capacity, right? So, I assume it could be 5 for 1, but 5 for 1 would be bullshit. That would be a fail, right? If it's 5 for 1, the whole system is a fail. A complete fail. Straight away, straight up. 1 for 1 is also too good. So 1 for 1 would be the best player satisfaction one, but it would be very good. 2 for 1 is acceptable. 3 for 1 is already pushing it. Right? 3 for 1 is pushing it. 4 for 1 is bullshit. 5 for 1 is unacceptable. Okay? So like if it's 1 for 1, it's good for everyone. If it's 2 for 1, it's fine. If it's 5 for 1, it's just like don't even bother implementing it. You know? Like if you do 5 for 1, then don't even bother putting this on live server. Like seriously. I'm sorry. Then you might as well just leave it out of the game because it makes no sense to have it in the game. And I'm not saying this as someone who wants handouts, like right? It's just unreasonably unreasonable. $50 regular uniques for 1 Uber would be perfect, but that's coming in season 4. Oh, I got him. Like, are you kidding me, Chad? Like, we're getting 1 unique here right now. We're getting 1 unique per run. So what I'm expecting, Chad, there's one thing I'm expecting, and I think this is the most reasonable thing to expect. They left this so vague, and now they're gonna look how everyone whines on social media. They have 2 more days. They have 2 days of us complaining. They have 2 days of creators being like, fuck you. They have 2 days of everyone losing their shit on Reddit, on the forums, everywhere. This is 2 days of us just being able to kick up like a stinker about this. And these 2 days will determine... Oh shit, this pans would have been good. These 2 days will probably determine then, ultimately, how the ratio is going to be. Hopefully. My assumption. Now, I could be crazy. Wow. Wow. Okay. Movement speed. Essence cost reduction. Then the damage reduction from shadow damage over time affected as shit. And then 1 rank in the evolution passive. This one would have been godlike. Absolutely godlike. Fuck. Katie got 1 too. Which one did you get, Katie? What did I miss? So, but yeah, I think if you have a strong feelings, chat, please Twitter to them. Please complain to them. Please tell them that you have strong feelings. You know? Oh, Katie got the Littlest. That's amazing. I mean, also bullshit, but like for getting like in the open world, right? You finally got 1. See, that's all we want, Katie. Like, right? People are posting. Okay, that's just the parent group on WhatsApp. Just give everyone a Shaco. I mean, technically everyone can already get a Shaco. It's not hard to get Ubers. That's the whole point, right? At this point, it's not hard to get Ubers anymore. You just have to like no-life the game. You just have to buy your materials from a Chinese farmer for $3, from a Chinese duper. You just like, right? I mean, it's not a difficulty thing in any capacity anymore. So Uber uniques are already devalued. They're not Uber anymore. Might as well make a crafting system that everyone can participate in, especially, and here comes my point, chat. If normal uniques can be crafted into Uber uniques, okay? If normal uniques can be crafted into Uber uniques, and the ratio would be 50 to 1, then I could farm Uber uniques without doing Duriel and not having a single minute of fun. Correct? Because right now, Duriel is no fun. But if I have a chance to craft Uber uniques with normal uniques, I can spam dungeons, I can spam vaults, I can enjoy myself, I can level up new characters. Okay? Important point. I can level up new characters, I can get more uniques, and then still get the Ubers I want. Done. Voody said it pretty good last night. It doesn't matter if you get an Uber or not. The no-lifers going to beat everyone who complain about not getting... Yeah, so the no-lifers will complain. But the no-lifers are the very vast minority in every singular way. Right? I mean, the no-lifers will always complain. They will always call every system shit. But that's because they got nothing better to do. I mean, they'll feel like that it's unfair... because they have so much time that someone with less time could get the same results. But that's just the most stupid way of seeing it. And that's also like just someone that understands nothing about game design. You know, someone that understands nothing about game design and also and they don't understand that they don't matter. It's like when pro players complain about Hearthstone. You know, Hearthstone back in the days, chat. Listen, Hearthstone back in the days. Do you know what pro players complained about? This isn't true. No-lifers don't always complain and think every system is shit. Sir, is it your first day in the internet? No hurties. I'm not saying that like this is not a not all man discussion. You know? Sure, there are also no-lifers that don't just randomly complain. But have you ever been on Reddit? Have you ever been on Twitter? You know, like when I present people an absolute reasonable crafting system that would profit everyone and make it more fun for everyone, for some reason the people that have a lot of time will always complain. Because the crafting system would give people the same results they only get by investing time. Because the only thing they have going on is time. You know? So it would devalue their farm if, well, everyone could get the same results. But that's the weirdest way of looking at things. It's kind of like, oh no, I need to protect my precious grind. Because my grind is worth less if other people can get the same. Making a game too easy makes it boring, though. Need a balance between. Only because you can get items easy doesn't make the game easier. It just gives you the items to actually play with. One problem we always had with uniques and uber uniques is before, okay? Before, chat. The problem was you would reach level 100 and then you're done with the game. Right now, I can reach level 100 with my uniques and have fun. Right? So I can be level 40 or 45. I can get my Ring of Sacrilegious Souls. And I can play with that into the end game. I can get my Godslayer crown. I can get my Hell from Below. And personally, for me, that's great. But in Season 1 and in the Eternal Realm, I was lucky if I got one single unique before level 80, before level 90. And then when I got 100, I leveled up a new character. How many Necro charts do you have at max level? Roughly 2 per season. Because I always level multiple Necros to give you guys multiple builds. Because I make like, again, we're making like around 12 to 20 different builds per season. And I want you all to have the most fun possible. And that's why I make shadow builds and blood builds and bone builds and all the kind of builds, you know. you know? For me, it's okay to get one Uber for even 300 uniques. Exactly. I mean, it can, like, I'm saying 50 uniques for one Uber crafting system would be interesting. It could also be 100 uniques for one Uber crafting system. I mean, Ubers, like, uniques, you find really a lot. Even if you play only a couple of hours per day. I mean, roughly, like, every third or every fourth vault, you usually get one unique. And one vault takes 2 to 3 minutes. What is hardest level category to get out of? None? None? I'm not sure. Like, you have to rephrase your question. I might also look at it from a Necro perspective, but I still say none. I just recently played a Sorc, and there is no barrier of entry at any point. I mean, technically, for most people, probably going from tier 2 to tier 3 is the most difficult. Because they struggle with the first capstone dungeon, and that's an okay struggle to have. Not every capstone dungeon is... Not everyone feels that capstone dungeons are simple to do. And there's no hurt feelings. Oh, I need to reset before Neil starts yelling at me. Not every capstone dungeon is... Not everyone has the same feeling towards capstone dungeons. I think, like, the tier 4 capstone dungeons, so tier 3 to 4, is easier than tier 2 to tier 3. And the main reason for that is that when you're tier 3 to 4 already, you get your first Paragon points. You know? So when you arrive at the Fallen Temple, you usually get, like, your first Paragon points here, and this is a huge boost. Like, alone getting this one is amazing. Like, you reach level 50, you get 25 Paragon points from your Renown, or 20, however it was, and, like, boom. So getting, like, from tier 2 to tier 3, though, you can do that with level 35, you can do that with level 40, and some people do it even with level 45, so some people do it extremely late. I usually do it with 35 because I like the bonus challenge, right? But generally, I think that's what most people struggle with. Also, when they get to tier 4, so when they first get to world tier 4, a lot of people struggle because they don't know how to get their resistances up, right? They don't understand how to use the Paragon board straight away to max out on the resistances that you're essentially straight up able to do everything. So I guess that's also one big hard spike, right? Since, yeah. If they do 50 uniques for one Uber, you have a lower chance on bosses to drop uniques. Nah, I mean, see, like, you're saying, like, see, like, this is, again, like, a misconception of the game, in my eyes. So you're saying that if 50 uniques for one Uber would be a thing, you would have to lower unique drop chances, because with a 4-man party, you can farm 50 uniques per day. That's a you problem. A you problem. Because, like, as you're saying, with a 4-man party, you could farm 50 uniques per day. But that's, again, a self-created problem. Because you, sir, can play with a 4-man party. You have a 4-man party to play with. And you have the time to do that. Again, 90% of the players do not have that time. So, like, how do I put this now? If as someone with a lot of time, you're now getting Uber uniques even faster than before, that's congratulations. That's a luxury problem. That's a I'm gaming a lot and now I get things even faster problem. That's the game is getting too easy for someone who anyways has all the time to make the game easy, you know? So for people that have a lot of time, like, the game will always be too easy, right? That's a time problem. That's a self-created issue. That's when you're saying the end game is boring in the game because you're rushing to the max level so fast and you're not enjoying the level experience. I enjoy the level experience, and I don't find the end game particularly boring. But that's also because I try out different builds and I play different classes. You know? Now listen again. I'm not excusing the lack of endgame. The lack of endgame sucks. The endgame is terrible. There's missing endgame. This is all true. This is all true. But at the same time, it's still a self-created problem. Because if you're only playing 10 hours per day, you know, you're only playing 10 hours per day, Diablo 4 is, matter of fact, a perfect game. There's not, like, it's the perfect game for 10 hours a day gamers. A grand experience. Brilliant, to be fair. If you play more than that, though, well, then we have a problem. Because you'll fast get to that point where the brilliant game experience gets frustrating. Did I say 10 per day or 10 per week? Well, I wanted to say 10 per week. Sorry, not 10 per day. Oops. Retract statement. Replace 10 per day through 10 per week. And imagine I said that. Okay? Good part. You know? Rolling back. Here. Rolling back. Back pedal Andy. I obviously said 10 per week. Right? Because else my whole argumentation falls apart. Like, you know, a cube of sugar in the rain. Yeah. So, luckily I said that, right? Right? Luckily I said that. It'd be a shame if I said anything different. Do not clip it and do not ship it. Thank you very much. Nothing to clip and nothing to ship. Okay. Good talk. So we have the Edgemaster on this one, by the way. And currently Edgemaster's aspect is my Ring of Starless Skies, Chad. You might even say that Edgemaster's aspect is better than Starless Skies because Starless Skies needs to stack up. While Edgemaster's aspect currently is just always 20%, kinda. Spend 517 hours in Seasons 2 and still had fun. No, exactly. But you probably played more than one character, I would assume. I mean, if you spend 500 hours, I would highly anticipate that you played more than one char. If you didn't, then my respect, to be honest, for spending so much time on one char only. We had the Abba 12 Zir, though, so that is a huge time sink. Right? Huge time sink. Did I reset the dungeon? PoE players play 25 hours per day. Yeah, but PoE players are built different. Also, they do have endgame. Also, I don't actually enjoy the PoE endgame. For me, when I reach the mapping stage of my PoE character, I usually want to make a new character. I have to admit personally that the leveling experience, this rush of getting stronger and getting your skill points, and then like, you know, being able to jump the world tiers, that kind of stuff, that is what is interesting for me. And actually being max level is not so interesting to me. I mean, sure, I like to make builds and min-max builds like this build here right now, correct? I want to see how much more is that correct English? How much more? Much more sounds so wrong. How more powerful? How more powerful? I can make this build. Right? I want to see how high can my corpse explosions go. Can I reach like the 20 million corpse explosion? Yes, I can, but not with my current gear. So how much higher? How higher? Oh, bigger? Bigger, right? It's bigger, not higher. It's bigger. It's bigger. I learned that. Wait. So people corrected me on Twitter. How bigger I can make my corpse explosion? More powerful? It's not higher damage, it's bigger damage, right? Because they said higher is for Higher is for scale, like size, and bigger is for numbers. English, you know, English for non-native speakers. Confusing. Larger? It's larger, but it's larger also for numbers or just for size? Other way around, higher is for numbers and bigger. Okay. I can use higher, but I got scolded for using higher. That was being mean to me. Higher number is the correct way to say it. Well, okay. Bigger is better. Bigger is better, exactly. English. English for runaways. English for Fortgeschrittene. You know, there's a German joke, chat. It's really funny. It says English for runaways, which in Germany could technically mean English for advanced people, because a runaway is someone that, well, runs away, but also someone that goes further, you know? So if it's English for runaways and it goes further, then it could also be English for advanced, at least in German, and if you're funny. I'm sorry, I'm old. And I'm that old, actually. Because there's a German comedian from back in the days who's also that old. I think 70 plus at this point. Who had a whole comedic thing going on for German-English semantics. Oh, you're from Germany. Wow, you're from... Where are you from? I think young people nowadays will not appreciate this kind of humor, sadly. Or I don't know if it means sadly or not, because, I mean, it's certain humor for old people that don't speak English very well. Finland here, Toril. Finland represent. Jutta is in the kitchen. Jutta is im Knast. Yes, per no. It is a banger. But obviously English people wouldn't understand this because they would be like, are they having a stroke? And the answer is no, but it's not much better than that, you know? We're not having a stroke, but the actual explanation is not much better. Okay, by the way, this one here is quite amazing, chat. Has resource generation, cooldown reduction, and critical strike chance. Very good offhand. Also, that one here has cooldown reduction and essence cost reduction as well. Is this one 925? Oh, it's even 925. Holy moly. I like to see. I like to see very much. We could technically remove the Hell from Below gloves, which give my corpse explosion a 40% multiplier, right? And you could also play normal gloves that then get the Etchmaster aspect with critical strike chance and critical strike damage or lucky hit chance, right? And Blight, for example, and intelligence, right? And if you would do that, we could play the Ring of Starless Skies if we had it without a downside. Any other unique ring that would make sense? And you could technically even play the Melted Heart of Selig in this build, which would make no sense. Apart from giving you more stats and making you more healthy and giving you damage while healthy as a bonus, right? What's the aspect you would use instead of the helmet, instead of Godslayer? Well, your problem is that, yeah, there is no other helmet than Godslayer. Now getting to the point that you could also play this with Bone Spear, because right now I'm playing this with Blight for many reasons. But we could also play this build with Bone Spear instead of Blight. But then we're just playing a Bone Spear build instead of a full Corpse Explosion build. So again, there is a world where I can mix Bone Spear and this together, and we'll actually do that. So after I've made the build guide, after I've made the build video for this, I will also make a Bone Spear CE mix video. But it will essentially just be Bone Spear with more damage CE. You know? And that's where I dislike the fact of making a build that is just Bone Spear with a Corpse Explosion that does more damage. I mean, it's still different than a Bone Spear build, so it's not just a Bone Spear build, but it technically is. Because if we're doing a boss fight, then you're essentially going to kill the boss with the power of your Bone Spears, only that your Corpse Explosions now also do millions of damage. Right? But technically, you're still just killing it with a Bone Spear, you know? So it's kind of like, I wanted to kill a boss only with a Corpse Explosion. You saw 23 million when? Just right now, during the stream? Didn't actually pay attention. There's a world where we can do that. No more minions? There's a world to do this build with minions as well. So this same build here can be easily played with minions. The problem is, and here's the sad part, let's assume you would do this build with minions. Okay. It would be worse. Why? Because with minions, we're playing the Ring of Men down. Okay. And with the Ring of Men down, you want more Corpse Explosions and not less Corpse Explosions. Because the problem here right now is that the Black River, okay, Black River, is using up 4 corpses. Bonus. So that is 4 less corpses that you could explode to trigger the Ring of Men down. Now, you could also say that Black River using up 4 corpses is less efficient than exploding 4 corpses really fast in a row, correct? Chad? So what does actually do more damage? A Black River exploding, you know, 1 corpse harder, or if I just explode 5 corpses really quick in a row and go bam, 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 bam. Because shouldn't 5 corpses really quick in a row do more damage than 1 super heavy Black River corpse explosion? Correct? Now, there's one thing you're forgetting, and that is like the... That is that Black River gives you also 4 ranks in Corpse Guilds, right? 4 ranks in Corpse Guilds means that your Corpse Explosion does 30% more damage. So another 30% damage multiplier on top of the 130% multiplier. Then you're getting 3 more ranks in Hood Flash, right? That means another... Actually, 2 more ranks in Hood Flash, not 3 more. Yeah, it's 2 more ranks in Hood Flash. No, 2 more ranks in Fueled by Death. That means another 6% multiplier in damage in total. That's also nice. So another 6% multiplier. And you have a higher lucky hit chance for corpses. But yeah. That's where you're kind of like... I would like to have a damage meter so I could now try out versus the target dummies what actually deals more damage. The problem is, right, that there is no damage meter. So I could go to the target dummies and do this now. Then take my finger and be like, I mean, it feels like I'm doing more damage. But I wouldn't know 100%, correct? It would be like a, I mean, looks good. Feels better, right? Isn't there a damage calculator for D4? There is a damage calculator for D4, scum. The problem with the damage calculator for D4 is that a lot of people sat down, a lot of people tested multipliers and if they're actually working and does this make sense and does this work the way it should work and all this kind of stuff. But despite all these people testing these things, they do not have a 100% certainty that these things are actually all working the way as they tested it that they would work. Oh. So they might have tested it, but yeah. Like, a lot of things break over time, and a lot of things don't work across all classes the same. For example, sometimes the multiplier from Terror doesn't actually multiply with certain skills. The same is with Gloom. Which then means when you use Gloom or Terror, that it actually just only works on stun, but it doesn't work on freeze, as it says. And then you're gonna be like going in and you try it out and you kind of notice, well, things are not thinging, right? And things are not thanging. And then you also have lucky hit chance things, right? Exactly. So there's lucky hit chance triggers. So it's kind of like, as much as you can test things, as much as you can predict stuff, actual DPS cannot be tested without a damage meter. Like I can have like calculators give me an estimate, but unless I'm in the real world scenario, unless I'm throwing the skills at the dummies and I see what comes out of it, right? The Aber 12 Zier was something like a damage meter, but even that still doesn't hold up to a real testing scenario, right? Where I go in and I throw shit at the fan and I see like, does this one skill change work better? What I really would like to test is Grandfather versus Black River. Because right now I'm at 800% critical strike chance, right? If I would use Grandfather, I could go up to 1,800, almost 2,000 critical strike damage. That's possible. So I could double my critical strike damage. And then the assumption is if I now would use Grandfather instead of Black River, right? That the Grandfather would technically allow me to do way higher damage than Black River. Despite Black River being good. It would be lesser lucky hit chance though. Pick a number from 1 to 5. 2. Why did you pick up the Mad Stark? Mainly because I have everything. I mean, like, look at me. I have like 60k Shattered Stone. I mean, yeah. I have 600 pearls of warding. I have my iron chunks, my scattered prisms. You know. What am I supposed to? I have my veiled crystals, my abstruse sigils, my everything. What do you want me to pick up? More. Useless. Still hoping for better pans. My pans currently have total armor, maximum life, and damage reduction from enemies affected by shadow damage over time, which is good. But they only have 3 ranks and corpse explosion was kind of shit. How do you find out the damage while bucket live? Someone else did. There's videos about it if you look it up. And you can try how damage while behaves. And it just gives you way more damage than is reasonable for only additive bonus, as it seems. That's why damage while is so nice. And the attack power gain would technically indicate damage while being crazy. Is Black River still bugged or something in any way? As people were saying previous season that the extra damage AoE corpse does not work. The extra damage does work. The AoE doesn't work. So, like, Black River AoE doesn't work on the shadow thingy. So that your actual shadow pool is getting bigger. I'm not sure if that's still broken. I haven't actually tested that. But we're doing currently physical Black River. And the physical Black River is actually insane in its radius. When the physical Black River hits the whole room, like there's no tomorrow. You're just going bibbity bobbity super bobbity. So that works quite nicely. By the way, thank you, Katie, Neil, everyone for taking me out for these right now. I think that's like enough Melphis for me currently. Like we got the 1 stone to actually do more testing, so we can see how much more damage we're doing right now. So thank you, community, for these tries. That was really, really cool, and I really, really enjoyed it. But I think I will fall asleep if I do one more. Also, chat wanted to see some boss kills, and I want to see some boss kills solo. So we'll have to see now. We have to kill 1 Varshan, I guess. We have to see if our actual damage goes higher. Which kind of brings me to the point we could even take a potion to push the damage even higher. Right? So I'm saying, like, farming these bosses for certain drops is no fun, right? Doing Melphis with a group is no fun. Doing Melphis alone is fun, but too tedious to do. Right? No, Katie, thank you for all the tries. So, like, I mean, seriously, right? Doing Melphis alone, the fight is fun for me as a Necro. Maybe not as a Bard, but as a Necro, it's fun. 12 million. What are we seeing, Chad? 12 million. We should go higher. Like, 12 million was used to be the old ceiling, so we should be able to get up to 15 million. It's hard to look everywhere at the same time, so to see all the numbers essentially, right? You saw 16? Yeah, I'm essentially, I tend to look at the top left or the bottom right, dummy. So there was 15, definitely. $24, you saw 24? I think that was an overpower one, so that doesn't count. Good. So you saw 16, 17. Yeah, that's good. There's no question about what you were thinking before with auto-casting the skill 5 times if it's more damage. The item says 130 per... No, Petrus, very important. Petrus, very important. Black River does not say 130 times 5. Black River, and if you especially go for the German description, says it's 130% more damage plus a radius increase per corpse. So it's not damage per corpse increase. It's a damage increase and then a radius increase per corpse. Okay. It's not like 500x plus damage per corpse. We've been having that discussion. I mean, technically, let me see what kind of weapon do I have her? Standard. I need a 1 for critical. A sword. I need a sword. Here, that's my sword. That's the ossified essence, right? So it's not a bonus damage aspect. It's kind of like sad right now. I would probably take a two-handed weapon for maximum bonus, like on the sacrifice. So I would take a two-handed sword. Do I have a two-handed sword somewhere? Two-handed sword. Need a two-handed sword that has critical strike chance. Overpower. One with critical strike damage shouldn't be hard to find, right? They're all so shitty. This one has overpower damage over time. This one has basic skill, damage to slowed. So let's take this one here for a second. Sacrifice bonuses. Only 1% more, which is a bit sad. So wait a second. What we're going to do now is we're going to drop Black River. It's less damage. But we obviously wanted to know, what if we take a two-handed weapon that pushes our crit higher? And we would give it the sacrifice bonuses ×2. I mean, technically we would give it Grasping Veins ×2. Because Grasping Veins ×2 goes from 40% up to 80%. So that's kind of nice. See if we can re-roll this over to critical strike. Can a two-handed weapon have critical strike damage? Can, right? Can? I don't know. I haven't yet here critical strike damage at the low roll. And they nerfed how much it can have. Okay, so for our testing, oh shit, I just re-rolled that. Oops. I want to say for our testing, that's enough. Now I'm literally like, here, critical strike damage, we're back. Okay, a few million wasted, it's okay. A few million wasted and a few resources, chat. It's okay. Okay, like listen. This was a minor fuck up. Like nothing happened. Okay, we're all good. Everything is fine. So let's go back to the two-handed weapon. No one got hurt. Everything is fine. With this two-handed weapon now, I'm getting like the intrinsic stat of 26%. So that's nice. Cool. 26%, right? And only helms and amulet roll CDR, no offense too. And offense have also intrinsic CDR. Let's get all of this, right? And then we would get the... Hey, chat, let's just waste like 30 million for a random experiment, okay? Okay, chat? Can we just waste 30 million for a random experiment? Thank you. So, the thought would be that now without Black River and singular corpse explosions, that we could be doing... I mean, we would do less damaging corpse explosions, right? But due to the sacrifice aspect being doubled up to 50%, we would technically hire this here. So increases critical strike damage is usually 30%, right? And if I would have the sacrifice bonuses to 50%, it would be this one up to 45% then, which is a 15% increase to my critical strike damage. That's a lot. Then the mages would also do more damage to vulnerable enemies, and this one is going out of bounds anyways, so we would do more critical strike in the long run, right? But technically, if we're now exploding corpses, singular, then are we still getting like, okay, here, see, this is like millions now, millions. Oh, I forget to use my Blight. My Blight is important. Everything together. We're going up to only maximum of 2-3 million, right? 2-3. There was a 7, there was a 8 million. Okay, cool, cool. But yeah, the assumption would be that I'm exploding very many corpses in a row, right? And since I can explode so many corpses fast in a row, that the damage would be higher. Now, I guess the best way to test this would be... The best way to test this would be fighting Varshan. I guess. Because this is where I'm saying right now. I don't have a damage meter. I don't know if this is better. Right? This is just me throwing shit at the fan and just watching with sticks. Where's my Black River? I'm always scared when that happens. Okay, I have one I can trade for heads, right? Yeah, let's go for... let's trade this. Yeah, numbers are lower per corpse explosion. But I have, instead of one... Like, so you have to understand. In the time where I do one Black River, I'm exploding 5 corpses. So I could potentially get 2 high damage explosions. But in the same time as 2 high damage explosions, I could also get... 10. So instead of 2, I could get 10 mid-damage explosions. 10 equite, because it's either I use 10 corpses with 2, or I use 10 corpses with 10 explosions. Now, like, right? And one of these corpse explosions was up to 3-4 million. So it's possible. Don't forget, guys, we've been also... So again, like, before you try to moth, there's one thing we're missing. So this is a 130x multiplicative. Don't forget. The Black River is doing multiplicative bonus damage. Now you're saying, Pony, you have a two-handed weapon. Well, it doesn't matter because the two-handed weapon only gives us plus critical strike damage. So I hired my critical strike damage from 734 to 964. That's only 200% critical strike damage more. That also gets multiplied. But the actual Black River is 130x on whatever corpse explosion deals, right? So that is a nice critical strike damage multiplier. A corpse explosion already does a base of 90,000, right? And with less corpses close by and my multiplier is happening, right? So the multiplier is there, and we're getting also our corpse skills to anyways do higher damage, right? So my corpse explosion right now is doing net total less base, plus missing the multipliers, right? It gives more base. Actually not, it has less. So now let's do the two-handed weapon. And again, we're making more corpses, right? So we do this. We go here. Then we pull them together. We do that. We curse him, and then we explode all the corpses. So he dies really fast, right? To all the corpses. I mean, less attack speed now. Less attack speed. So there was a bunch of small explosions. Now that was what, like a 5-second kill, right? Yeah, less fueled by death ranks. So we're also losing the fueled by death multiplier. So there's like a lot of damage being lost. Now, obviously, this is not Grandfather. Again, like, keep in mind that this is not Grandfather. Grandfather would double our critical strike damage. So that is something like we're trying to replicate the Grandfather thingy with inferior means, right? Inferior means. Because we're obviously having... not the Grandfather. No, 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 no. No, if it multiplies the damage for each corpse, Petrus, we would do so much more. Like you're like still. If we would multiply the damage, I did with a two-handed weapon up to 8 million damage. With a Black River, I do up to 20 million damage. But if the Black River would really give times 500%, it would be more than 20 million. If it would multiply the damage per corpse and not just the radius, it would be more than 20 million. It wouldn't be just merely 20 million. By the way, now that we're fighting a boss, so now that we're fighting a boss, we have Tempest with Evernight, right? I still would say that it would be way better to use my minion as damage. Okay, now we have Black River, right? We curse him, we do this, we go into our explosions. See, now we do like singular big explosions, but since he has limited HP, he dies way faster, right? So we're trading again multi-mini explosions against one big one. With the limited HP of bosses, the big ones are obviously better on limited HP bosses, right? But now, what is if we had something like the Abo 12 Zir? I really would want to have this build for the Abo 12 Zir. I'm so sad. I mean, imagine 3 Bloodseekers. 3 Bloodseekers we can pull together. 3 Bloodseekers we can make corpses against. And then the maximum physical explosion bonanza. We are at the armor cap with this build, so I can bring this up to 15,000 armor. I would have the Litless Wall going. I would have the Bone Storm going. We would constantly lucky hit against these 3 guys, and they're like 20 million, bomb, 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 bomb. And we would even do more damage because that stupid that like the stupid vampiric powers would allow us to do more damage, right? I want the abattoir back to test this right now. What about X-Felds if not using Black River? X-Felds is for damage over time. I can show where like X-Felds does not work for this. X-Felds is damage over time. And X-Felds only works. I don't have another X-Felds, I think, so I need to swap characters. Felds, yeah. X-Felds is fantastic, and it does so. Why is no one using Black River or has been using physical Black River? Because there's X-Felds Corroded Signet, right? So you usually have your Corpse Explosion, and then you turn your Corpse Explosion into Shadow, and then your Shadow damage over time, your damage over time effects, have a 50% chance to deal 41,000 damage, and then you multiply this damage, okay? So you would take the 41,000 from X-Felds, and you would take Shadow damage, and you would explode it, and you would make sure that this Shadow damage then hits also for millions. And yes, you can make X-Felds hit for millions, right? The problem about X-Felds is that you first have to lucky hit, right? So you do actually have to have a damage over time effect that lucky hits. The problem with damage over time is that a lucky hit chance of 40% sounds good. Okay? But this 40% is divided by 6. So the Corpse Explosion doesn't actually do 40% lucky hit. It's 40 divided by 6 lucky hit for each second. The only damage over time effect that has a very high lucky hit chance is Blight. And, surprisingly, Blood Wave when you turn it into shadow. Because then the lucky hit chance is actually like calculated different and it has quite the high lucky hit chance. Because if you do it then ultimate... If you turn it into here, into desecrated ground, it's also the lucky hit chance divided by 4. But then lucky hit chance kind of gets calculated different. Why am I not using Harlequin Crest and Starless Skies for the build? Very simple answer. I don't have it. Why do you have Harlequin Crest and Starless Skies? Sir. I don't have that. Funny part, to automate this build even further, we could take 1 stun out to get thorns. Because now we do an amount X of thorns, right? I mean, we're already thinking about how can we make this build be an AFK monster? How can I be AFK with this build? Soulbron good for Blood Surge. Yes, Soulbron can be used for Blood Surge if you have the aspect slots free. Always make sure to have the aspect slots free. Because one thing you might not know about this build, but I can essentially go AFK. Right? I mean, mainly this build, due to the automatic corpse explosions and everything, like I can just position myself somewhere. I just need 1 corpse to start the whole thingy, like, right? And everything just dies. Now, if I have thorns... and everything dies. And I even heal. Why do I heal? Or did it just look like I healed? No, it was my Fortify that made it look like I healed. If I start this wave-based event here now... I should be able to quickly just go AFK upstairs. Yeah, I'll be right back. Fantastic, isn't it, Chad? Try a decent challenge like 100 Nightmare Dungeon. Or 100 Nightmare Dungeon is a joke. I mean, when I'm running through a 100 Nightmare Dungeon, I don't even use a single corpse explosion ever. I just walk through it, essentially. Well, this is really nice and efficient, right? I mean, there wasn't even a remote danger of dying. It really makes things really easy. And if I now would get more thorns, so I have 1 point in thorns, chat, right? Let me take these 3 points out to just put into thorns. It's just essentially to just get the first corpse faster. If I would take the thorns and healing by enemies surrounding me, I I should be unkillable, right? I should be truly unkillable. I could probably just stand like in the I could probably just stand next to one of the braziers and be absolutely AFK farming, huh? Mixsauce, thank you for the 55 months of support. Mixsauce, do appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing? So could that work? Chan, would that be crazy to make that recommendation for people? Would you enjoy having an AFK farm recommendation? Or is that something you're not interested in? Just dealing with snow. Yeah, luckily we don't have snow. We have 10 degrees plus. I heard some parts of Germany have been drowning. Yeah, I guess that would be funny, right? To introduce like the AFK farm to. I mean, so there is the aspect that gives you heal from surrounding enemies, right? And with your bot doing damage and you getting heal from surrounding enemies, I think you should be able to never die. I mean, this event is sadly none that you can do AFK because you need to follow that dude. Yeah, I could now be AFK here, but it would be less opponents. And the thing is that the AFK build for this would be as efficient as the normal build. I would even argue that it makes sense to play that aspect. Chad. I mean, the healing from surrounding enemies. I would argue that that aspect does even make sense for this build by nature. It would lower our damage this much. But it would higher our survival in vaults without needing a unique. Yeah, let's find the aspect. How high can it roll? Is there a higher roll with Knight 25 now? I don't have one available right now. What about Reconstruct? You could actually take Reconstruct probably to really go AFK. But I'm genuinely considering actually taking this because I think it could be a good thing. So I'm not joking, like this is a real consideration. Is the Uber crafting 1-for-1? We don't know. We will see in 2 days. They didn't say the ratios intentionally. I've actually reached out to Blizzard directly. I do have one of their community managers following me. I did tweet out. I did but I doubt that I'll get an answer. So you all know which aspect I'm talking about, by the way, Chad, right? I'm talking about the aspect that gives you heal per surrounding enemy. I don't have any one of those. I think we have to bang through like a couple of vaults right now. I anyways need some recordings of vaults, so let's just bang some through, okay? But it could be really interesting because you'll see why I'm saying that it could be interesting when I show you a vault, okay? You'll be like, yeah, Pony, this actually makes super sense now. Okay, let's still go AFK for this event. My bot needs to kill one first. The thing is, I'm playing Howl from below. So my corpse explosions, they're searching enemies. And now imagine the aspect that heals you per surrounding enemy. Did I mention that I am... not having the most... Did I mention that I am not having the most perfect rolled Ring of Sacrilegious Souls? Chat? Me and my friend love your videos. Ballhead, good to see you there. I'm happy you're enjoying them. Thank you very much for the kind words. Suffer! Suffer your transgressions, stupid goblin. Yeah, he's good. Destroying. Okay, let's try to get Crowded Sage because I think it could actually be good for the build in general. Why are we getting steel right now, guys? Because I want to do a solo Duriel because people always ask for boss fights. So I want to do a solo Duriel. For the people that are always confused about, you know, boss fights. So I guess we're gonna try to get the second steel chest. Then we do, the solo Duriel, the Gregoire as well. Just to show you like how this actually is versus bosses, because we really made this work versus bosses. But again, keep in mind there is a better version than the one I'm playing. Okay, guys, like I won't keep this from you. There is a better version than the one I'm playing, but the problem is it's essentially Bone Spear. Okay, so let me tell you what would happen with a better version. Okay, with a better version, we would change the helmet that we have right now to Deathless Visage. Because Deathless Visage is insane for Bone Spear. Okay. We could also change the Howl from Below gloves for the aspect of Serration. That would then give us the Bone Spear, Bone Splinter, bonus damage, bonus vulnerable, everything. Okay. Lastly, one of the rings could even have the aspect of the Ossified Essence passive for Bone Spear as well. And we could play the Lidless Wall over Army of the Dead. And then you're essentially playing the same build that we're playing right now with a bit lesser damage on the corpse explosions, while your Bone Spear damage would be also doing millions. Because right now we're using Blight. Blight gives us a 15% multiplier on our corpse explosion. So with Blight, we're able to get the max damage corpse explosion possible. Caveat is that the Blight doesn't do any damage itself. So the actual better build would be using Bone Spear. Now, I want to separate these two builds though. Okay, guys? I want to make a full corpse explosion build, and I want to make the Bone Spear corpse explosion build. Is that okay for you? Is that fine if I separate these? Essentially, same concept, right? Just like, yeah. Do a solo Lilith. We already did a solo Lilith with this, but I can show you. Sure. I do believe it's just in separate, it's funnier because like there's the one build which is trying to be the best for the leaderboard. And there's this build, which is just more fun to play, especially since it's something different. And that's why you like, yeah, I just don't simply make the best possible builds, right? It's also like, I want the variety, right? I don't want just another bone spear build. I want the variety. I want a cool maximum corpse explosion concept, because this has 7 glyphs active, chat. I mean, again, look at my Paragon board, chat, right now. This Paragon board has 7 different glyphs active. Yep. 7. 7. Oh, look, chat, a shrine. Spearbird, thank you very much for the sub and the multiple months up front. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, brother. Oh, I'm no hands, mom. Look. Something is healing me. What is healing me? The cola you're drinking, this is Coke Zero, not Coke 00. I usually drink only Coke 0000. Also zeros. You notice how my corpse explosions are looking for them? Oh yeah, the size is actually giving me life on kill. I didn't even consider it. Interesting. You're right. Huh. Makes it even more fun. I still want to consider playing the aspect that heals me over time, because it could just be better for general dungeon pushing. Like for tier 100 dungeons, because in tier 100 dungeons I do have to, like, you know, press my heal button every now and then. But I guess I could alienate that, because then everything spawns around me, deals some damage, would instantly heal me, would instantly die, would instantly die, would instantly heal me, would instantly die. You know, it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I like the idea of that. I'm so not used to playing Scythus that I actually never considered that it would heal me. That explains so much. I've been always wondering why I don't have to spam more potions. I feel so stupid right now, chat. I legitimately feel so stupid. Because I've always been wondering, why don't I have to heal more as I'm pushing through the dungeon? Because like, I felt like I'm having an unreasonable amount of HP, right? I felt like I should be taking more damage. Like, I should be hurting more, right? It should be like, yeah. But for some reason, I never was. I was just like, you know, yeah. More squishy with AOD. Well, the reason why we're using Army of the Dead is because Army of the Dead allows us to kill bosses very easy. Because Army of the Dead produces corpses beyond belief. So if I use Army of the Dead against a boss, I instantly get 10 to 15 corpses, which allows me to do very many corpse explosions. It's just really, really nice in that regard. It solves the problem of not having enough corpses ever, right? So you never get to the point where you're like, oh man, I wish I had more corpses. That just simply doesn't happen, right? We simply just never get to the point where we wish we had more corpses. See, right now would need the healing thingy aspect, because we would actually die, since we like are waiting for our bot to do the damage to create more corpses. I have to do it myself. That's why I was thinking like thorns might be needed, right? The first one that is somewhat clutch, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like thorns probably for the maximum execution would be needed. To just make sure that you're like doing always enough damage just in case. Lose your shards? No, I won't lose my shards. Don't worry. Ain't nobody got time for losing their shards now. But yeah, if we would heal now for nearby enemies, I could indefinitely stand there, right? Just indefinitely. So yeah, you can play this build with Bone Storm and with Lilith's Wall, and it's better for dungeon pushing. The thing is, like I can make this build better for dungeon pushing, but you want it good for both, you know? This one has a mobalytics already. It's in the description of this video, Lovo. That's one channel membership or one like on the video. Thank you very much. Razorblade? Nah, Razorblade unnecessary. So Razorblade would just be, yeah, sure. I might like, yeah, for the AFK farm, you could do Razorblade. Yes. Okay, yeah, for the AFK farm, just equip Razorblade. True. You're right about that. I'll take everything back. Not unnecessary. Yes. But finally a use for Razorblade. Finally a use for Razorblade. You're right. You're actually right. That's cute. Let me actually quickly. Yeah, I know it's crowded sage, but I just, you know, it's like the aspect that heals me on people surrounding. Wait, I should have one razor plate. I tend to keep one. I kept none. I got like 20 razor plates in the last 3 days and I kept none. Ooh, schwierig. Very schwierig, as we say in Germany. Well, so I'm missing an aspect and I'm missing a razor plate now. Good. Very, very schwierig. Okay, first let's kill Grégoire twice, then we're gonna kill Duriel. And lastly, we're going to murder.
I cannot do that here.
I have a potion to make my damage look even better. Oh, here. Critical strike chance and damage. Sure, that's minimal, but hey, it works. I want to try Razorblade with Heart of Selig. How necessary is the Grasping Veins? Grasping Veins multiplies all your damage and gives you a bonus crit chance. It's so good. I mean, Razorblade with Selig is obviously something you can do. I just generally don't believe in any kind of Thorns build. Then Lilith, you do know that Lilith has less HP than Duriel, right? Just asking for a friend, John. You do know that Lilith has less HP than Duriel. By the way, someone asked what fortifies me. It's the exhumation aspect. The exhumation aspect actually fortifies you, and that fortify gives you also bonus damage reduction. Kind of cool. So, not aspect, glyph. So whenever I actually explode a corpse, I get fortified. And since I explode so many corpses at the same time, yeah, I'm always fortified. Gregor, the Galvanics. How do you play this now? Okay, so step number 1 is always curse, right? Step number 1 is curse, then throw some blights on to get some corpses, then trigger Army of the Dead, then go into Blood Mist to make more corpses, and then he's dead. Okay? You should not forget one thing, and I think this is something very important that often gets forgotten. Sure, my corpse explosion just did 8 million damage, right? But my blight is actually also dealing significant good damage. I mean, like 100, 200 Ks, that's kind of nice. And the Army of the Dead itself has also, like, it does per explosion up to like 100 to 300k damage as well. So the Army of the Dead itself can also do like incredible damages as it's cast. Why do we curse first? More damage. Again, curse, blight to do more damage versus the blight opponent. Army of the Dead for the automatic corpse. Oh, by the way, I never pressed the corpse explosion button myself. I'm essentially just staying like inside, like, yeah. So the corpse explosions are happening over the ring, so I'm not even doing that. You have Starless and you have Shaco. I mean, if you have Starless and Shaco, this build we're playing right now, D-Wid, this build we're playing right now is one of the builds. But with Starless and Shaco, probably something in the direction of Bone Spear as well.
I cannot do that here.
Okay, now Duriel. Shards are 15 to 20 million each now. X like 5 to 6 million each. Seems pretty cheap. I mean, especially with how much money you can get. If I just do vaults, like you get what, 100 million per day?
I need time to do that.
Even more? I mean, if you would even care for doing vaults, because my problem is I do vaults and I don't even loot the chests that give you money because I'm too lazy. Just buy Duriel mats with real money, chat. Don't do that, by the way. Just buy Duriel mats with real money. Don't do that, by the way.
I need more time.
Do you think you could maximize the corpse explosion damage to the Shadow Blight key passive? Unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary, Draggy. Because everything dies before. So we could put the aspect on. Okay. We could put the aspect on for bonus Shadow Blight key passive damage. The problem is we never get to that point. Usually everything is dead. Also, it's only a 6-second window where it actually would be relevant. Okay? That's like one problem kind of there. That the actual So you would think it's bad that Duriel ran away, right? It's not. Because my corpses, they just run in from the side. Actually really funny. Boom. My corpses just run in from the side. Wait, let's not waste those corpses because I want them like for the next try. There you go. See, like, do you see these corpses running in? That's how corpse explosion like actually works with Howl from below. It's like super funny. Comes in from the side and kills him. That's a piece of pans. So that was Duriel. And now we'll teleport over to Mommy. Wouldn't it be better to have a bad roll on the auto corpse ring to give you more time to create corpses? I mean, you could even drop the auto corpse ring. The only reason why we have the auto corpse ring is for the ranks to corpse guilds. But it wouldn't be uncommon to say you're dropping that to, as you say, cast the corpse explosions yourself to just have more corpses. I would not intentionally take a worse second one because even if you don't consume the maximum amount of corpses, you're still doing good damage, right? I'd like to see a Necro who one-shots Duriel. Well, you can two-shot him with Bloodlands, very easy. But we're not barbarians, Draggy. I mean, like, it's cute that you want to see that, but we are a reasonable class. Okay? You know, we are a reasonable, tuned class that does reasonable, tuned damage. We're not over-tuned. We're not crazy. We do everything as we're supposed to, right? Might die to actually using this. You notice like how the damage is, right? Obviously, I would have to Army of the Dead again to like kill her faster, but I don't want to do that. You notice like you just get her down. I mean, Bone Spear is faster, and the Bone Spear. So this is the thing, right? Very important, guys. The Bone Spear CE build that I can turn this into would win this fight 20 times faster. But again, then it's just like a Bone Spear with a higher damage corpse explosion. So it's just the same we already have. So nothing really crazy special, right? Now comes the Necromancer problem of having to avoid these thingies here, right? Oh yeah. But yeah, damage is there, right? Brings us now to teleport to Gate Hall. Is it good or really bad bonsai? Minions and thorns works. See, and this is where no one bothers with Lilith anymore, because you used to be able to skip these phases to kind of like just cheese her, or what means cheese her, to avoid her stupid mechanics, which are actually plenty stupid. And since you can't really do that anymore, it's kind of like, meh. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that, especially not as a Necro. Because after I use my Blood Mist, I just get booped by everything and I die. Like, better things to do with my time. Okay, now what do we have? We wanted to go for... Chat was asking for a tier 100. Now, if we would have the heal for surrounding enemies aspect, I could play that probably on my ring. Be able to put it on my ring, right? So for tier 100 dungeons, you're essentially just like actively zooming, right? And due to my blight aspect that you don't actually notice during boss fighting, you notice how all these things get pulled together, right? That's my blight aspect. It's really useful for this because I can essentially just cheese everyone. Like here, I throw it in there, right? I pull everyone together. It's actually kind of mean. Everyone dies. And you notice how we're taking damage because we don't have barrier, but never lethal damage because we have good damage reduction. But if I now go into Blood Mist, correct? Because I took damage. And then I would get healing from surrounding enemies as well. I think that would make it just even safer to play this build. Right? But it's already plenty safe. Like, it's a like, right? I'm not exceptionally talented. And that's also where I dislike the Bone Spear. Because right now, as you can see, I just stagger and stun everything by pulling them together. Like right now. And they instantly get corpse explosion. With a Bone Spear, you essentially just throw a Bone Spear in again, and then a Bone Spear kills one or two, maybe. And then you're having that. But I have like my funny stun pull. That gives me so much joy. Are we not picking up the items? We're mostly picking up everything at the end. That's already enough. You know? A man gotta also like just zoom through the dungeon. You can put Celic on for the second phase attacks. Yeah, but you could also just you know, avoid getting hit by those things. I'm sorry, Slaxy, what did I do? Why are you upset with me? We're live on TikTok. Yeah, I currently need to figure out like one thing with my encoders, how the TikTok live stream is not like pulling down the quality of the others. So that's why I didn't go live on TikTok this morning, Slaxy. Sorry. It's like it's a bit like TikTok is making things complicated because TikTok has its own streaming app, and so like you want to know how fucked streaming is on TikTok, guys. So TikTok has their own streaming app, but TikTok also has stream keys. If you stream with a stream key, not with their streaming app, they might just not give you viewers because TikTok can make that decision easily. They can be like, oh, now you're not getting like in the For You page or anything. Now, if you're using their app, you're way more likely to end in the For You page, right? Great way was to screw with you as a content creator. Great way to screw with you as a content creator and work on your confidence, right? So literally not streaming with their app, streaming with OBS, 10 viewers. Okay. Streaming with their app, 100 viewers. Cool, right? What would you suggest for the HC Lilith kill achievement? I mean, you could play the Melted Heart of Selig Bonespear Necro that kills Lilith extremely easy and has a chance to just survive her second damage because you have like your essence essentially soak up parts of the damage. Do you see how everything just died there, Chad? So yeah, this is the build in a nutshell. And now if you play instead of Army of the Dead, so for dungeon zooting, guys, instead of Army of the Dead, you could also play Litless Wall. Okay? And Litless Wall would obviously provide you with a ginormous barrier that makes you not die to volcanic on the ground, because that's what we die to, volcanic on the ground. But the thing is, then if you choose Litless Wall to be better at dungeon zooting, then you would be worse at boss fighting, because without Army of the Dead, you're essentially doomed to get less corpses. And that's just a fact. It's not an opinion. I've tried. So either you choose to have like the perfect dungeon zooming build. I mean, one build for the job, I guess. Or you would choose to get more corpses. I mean, it's not like you're in any danger, right? I just have to like essentially move a little bit and not just stand still, throw in my blights, explode everything, and done, right? It's like the only difference to Litless Wall build is that the Litless Wall can stand AFK. You know, the Litless Wall can literally stand AFK and not move. That's the big difference. Very brave playing without barrier. No, I have very good damage reduction. You don't have to be brave if you build your class correct. I have on the pants 10% damage reduction. I think my amulet has damage reduction while fortified. My armor should have damage reduction, which it doesn't have right now. We're having damage reduction multiplier happening from our bot, because with a safeguard support, 15% damage reduction multiplier. Then we have another 10% damage reduction against close enemies happening right here. We do have... There was another damage reduction somewhere. Oh yeah, we do have 15,000 armor at any point because we have the 1.1 disobedience. So we're always like fully armored up. It's just enough. Left click, right click. I mean, come on now. I don't need to save time everywhere. But thank you for telling me. I will try that out. Like we can do another run and I'll try that out. Okay. Sorry. The Vive wanted things from me. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So the only thing that's kind of missing is like damage reduction or double damage reduction on the chest right now. Oh, and we have 20,000 life, right? 20,000 life never hurts when you just don't want to die to anything. Also, like, as always, consider that tier 100 dungeons here, there it is, Sage aspect. The tier 100 dungeons are not the pinnacle. I mean, end of the day, the leaderboard is not going to be tier 100 dungeons. So if we're less tanky, that's not to a detriment, you know. The fastest way to level glyphs this season, vaults. Vaults. I mean, you finish a vault in 2-3 minutes. Oh, blighted aspect. Oops, I gotta bunker away some aspects here. Thank you very much. Uncle Kid, thank you very much for the brand new subscription. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a warm welcome for Uncle Kid? Pleasure, good sir. So we have the Etchmasters aspect, right? Which would give us that, but we could technically also now choose our Crowded Sage for either our chest, so we lose the Blight Defiled. We could use our Helmet, which gives us like some random damage multiplier that every now and then works, correct? Or we could lose our Disobedience. Now, I kind of want to try it out without the Godslayer's Crown. So Godslayer Crown is nice, don't get me wrong, I like it. But I have helmets that make me even more tanky. So where's my helmet right now? Oh, it's helm, not helmet. Sorry. There is my helm. That one will get Crowded Sage. How that would feel when I'm dungeon pushing. What does the new crafting title stand for, Uncle Kid? The new crafting system that is coming with the next patch in 2 days, which will allow you to essentially turn Uber Uniques into other Uber Uniques. Now, we don't know, and obviously, like, if you consider now that we already get Uber Unique crafting, you might make an educated guess on further crafting systems also coming to the game with Season 4. So the future's looking as always bright. The now is just as always waiting for the future. It's kind of like the part with Diablo right now. You spend every season with amazing news for the next season, essentially, right? And you're just waiting, like essentially Diablo has so far always been like, this is very good, and then we only have to wait one more season, and then we get that, and then we only have to wait one more season, and then we get this, and then we have to wait another one more season, and then we get that again. So that's kind of cool. But on the other hand, why can't we have it now? Right? Because that's a little bit the problem. By the way, that bonus heal is working really nicely, chat. Look how we're just getting continuously. I mean, we get healed for killing things, right? So that's an interesting part. But we get also healed for things just being around us. And I mean, it's a minimal heal, but it's just enough. I'm surprised to see it level 100. Well, so like I push one Necro to 100, and then I start trying out builds. Then I push a second Necro to 100 to try out builds. Like essentially that's how I play, right? I very fast get to 100 with one Necro. So I then have a backup Necro to always try out new things. And then for the YouTube videos, I swap between these two Necromancers. So right now, my other Necromancer has, for example, a Shadow Black River build that I can show you. So that one is also ready for a YouTube video. While this Necromancer has the Corpse Explosion Black River build. Which also gets turned into the Bone Spear Black River build, which is going to be the brand new way to play Bone Spear. So yeah, like I have these two Necros to essentially be able to be more of a content machine for you guys. Then I have my Sork as well, which is currently a Blizzard Sork. Okay, chat, am I even taking damage at this point? I mean, seriously, I'm not really using my potions. I did intentionally not use my potion, but we're really not using our potion, and we're just reasonably staying healthy all the time, especially as we're just dashing through things. So you take like a little bit of damage, like here, right? But then as soon as you get anywhere close to minions or even just bypassing minions, right, we're automatically starting to heal already. So that's kind of like funny to me. You're right, we dash through, but we also get some heal, and then we're dashing through and we're already getting some heal. That's Son of Malphus, I ignore that. Can the build kill Son of Malphus? It can, just takes time. Because right now I'm like relying on a lot of corpses, right? And him is just gonna make things like lengthy. And I really don't have time for lengthy. I'm here for glyph XP. It's like when I walk into these guys, like I'm just getting so much heal here, especially from the killing on top. I kind of like this. We're going in. Well, it might seem unnecessary, but it makes me happy. So what can I say? It's a fun thought. I guess I just like to use underused aspects, Chad. And yes, if you had Harlequin Crest, you would use Harlequin Crest. Can I add you, Lind? We do play with the community, but then I essentially ask you for your Activision ID and then I add you. But I'm not just adding people like that. You know, it's usually for a purpose. I can't just randomly fill up my friend list because I need to then start kicking people again. So you might get invited on a one day and then I need to kick you on the other day already. Which kind of like a little bit shitty because, you know, you just came and then I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? It's nice that you're here, but you're going to go again. See, now I'm standing in the middle right now with the heals from kills and everything. And I'm dying if I don't move. No, I didn't move. I just blood missed it, Chan. Because I really don't want to move. I don't know. I like my Necro builds being able to stand still, right? So you just stood still and you used like blood mist a single time. Done. Point of personal YOLO Dolo, Chan. Okay, chat told me I can right click. I'm left clicking and then I'm left clicking and then I'm right clicking it. Oh God, look at me, chat. I can right click it. I really didn't mind. So without those walls shielding Storm, I feel like my defense like paper. I mean, you notice how I'm having enough defense, sir. Oh yeah, but I forgot this. So fortify fortifies another 10% damage reduction, guys. Fortifies another 10% damage reduction, and the exhumation glyph here gives me another 4% damage reduction because you know, you when you're fortified, you get like damage reduction. So that's how it works. The build in total is crazy. So now what would change, guys? Do you want to know the change, like just like so I can so I can just show you how the build would look now if it was the Black River if it was the corpse the bone spear build. So for the bone spear build, our equipment would more or less be the same. The only thing that we would put on is bone spear gloves. So we would essentially put on different gloves. We would put on the Deathless Visage. And we would potentially play Lidless Wall. Where's my Lidless Wall? Here. I was worried for a second. But these are the only three things that would change. And the gloves would get the splintering aspect. That's it. Same in green. Then you would obviously in the skill tree, we would have to get 1 rank in here, 3 and 3. And would have to swap over Shadow Blight for Serration. And get the corpse, get the Bone Storm in. But you notice that these shadow points and this here is automatically everything there already. And that's it. Done. When we put everything into Bone Spear over, take the Blood Mist points into Bone Spear, and then we're at Bone Spear thingy. It swaps boots then too. Yeah, but I like the boots. I'm a Flicker Stab nerd. I mean, you can swap the boots if you want to over to... where are my boots? Do I even have boots? I have boots, right? That are not flicker stab. But these are not my only boots. Where are my boots? My other character have my boots right now? I'm pretty sure I have boots. Oh, there they are. Yeah, so you could take like these one for, no, this one here. No, also not. Oh, I don't even know where my boots are. So yeah, boots, chat, boots. You can take different one. So, but we're probably like, tomorrow is the plan to do the, so tomorrow is the plan to do this build as is, okay? As is. So I want to show you this maximum corpse explosion, maximum damage build with the Evernight. I have the Evernight right now. I won't recommend it, but I'll give you that. And then I think in 2 days or so, we're going to flip this over. Tomorrow you're going to Carnival. Yeah, but you're still getting the build. So you're getting the video. Again, for the people that are new to this channel that don't know how this works, we have our live streams, and our live streams are always live builds. So this is where we built the build. This is where we did the Sorg. This is where we leveled the Sorg. This is a different build with Black River. That's the new Blood Surge build. That was the Summoner. That was the Summoner clearing tier 100s. That was the Summoner leveling. That was a new Tryon Bone Spear. So like you have all of this, right? And these are the theory crafting streams where we get everything together. And then you have the videos, right, that come out of this. So this is the new crafting system, this Bone Spear Evolved. So this Bone Spear Evolved video is essentially coming out of these experiments that we did, right? Same goes for the Blood Surge. This Blood Surge video is essentially from this stream. And then the Summoner, the first Bone Spear, all the others. So you always get the stream first, and then you get that followed up with. By the way, I still love that picture. Which build would you believe nice with Doombringer? Not a single build is good with Doombringer. Not a single build in Necro is good with Doombringer. Why is that? So if you're reading through Doombringer here, wait, I don't have a big Doom. I need a big Doombringer picture. So Doombringer says, a 15 to 20% chance to deal shadow damage to surrounding enemies, right? Lucky hit chance. 50 to 20% chance to deal shadow damage. Correct? 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 That's what it says. Cool. The problem is that the Ixfeld's Corroded Signet says 42,000 damage. So Doombringer has 5,800 shadow damage. If you try to scale 5,800 versus 42,000, what do you think will do more damage? Technically, you can play it in a lucky hit chance shadow damage build. Practically, there's no reason to. They don't share a macabre tag. I don't know where you think things are sharing a macabre tag. A corpse explosion is corpse and corruption. It's not macabre. You could technically put Bone Spirit in. There is no downside of putting Bone Spirit in. So we could, for example, remove the complete curse to put Bone Spirit in, but we don't really have many slots for Bone Spirit aspect. So the only Bone Spirit aspect we could play is the bonus crit chance. Was it called? Swelling? Was it Swelling? Reanimation, Seeker, Blighted, Splintering, Sacrificial, Retribution. And wasn't the bonus crit one in here too? You get like the where Bone Spirit deals 15% bonus crit, yeah. And then I would hire maximum essence. So that's like the only one you could play. And then you would just have random Bone Spirits that do a lot of damage. The problem is rather that my equipment doesn't work with maximum essence. I'm currently only at 124 essence, right? And if I would merge this with Bone Spirit, I would be ending up forced to also invest Paragon points in maximum essence. These Paragon points in maximum essence, like here in the Bone Graft board, Bone Graft board here, like these points into maximum essence, they would be completely useless for the bone, for the corpse explosion. Okay. Good. What's your crit chance right now? We are currently only at 30%. That's why you might consider swapping your gloves. I mean, so we're at 30%. Then we get another 30% from grasping veins. So we're at 60%. And then efficiency support gives us another 15%. So we're at 75%. Now, you could take your gloves. So I have these bone spear gloves. Where are they? Instead of the 40% multiplier, you could also take gloves like this, and they would give you another 10% critical strike chance. So we would go up to 40% critical strike chance straight away, which is kind of cool, right? And if you take gloves, you would get another offensive aspect, or if you get gloves, you could take another ring, right? So if I get gloves, I could take another ring, and then I would have space for the Ring of Starless Skies. I don't have the Ring of Starless Skies, though, correct? I hate that the Bone Storm is insanely good. Yeah, but we're surviving without it. I mean, the problem with the Bone Storm is that it's only good if you have the Litless Wall, so it becomes kind of mandatory, but we're completely doing without it, and it's working so well. The problem isn't that Bone Storm is so good. The problem is that the other two are a joke. So the other two abilities are a complete joke. That's the big difference. Okay, so this is the full CE build, chat, and it's working plenty fine. Now, I will have to end the stream, though, because my wife needs my help. I'm supposed to do some AI shenanigans still for her because she needs me to put a photo of someone on the body of someone else. Yeah, don't ask questions. It is what it is. It's for a birthday. Thank you for coming and watching today. This was really cool to be finally getting the one glyph with a +4 so I can test some more things, and that was kind of nice. And I'll be back on Monday with a stream, but I'll have a video tomorrow. So don't worry. This VOD will also go live in 5 hours. So if you want to rewatch what we did here, this will go live in around about 5 hours. Until then, I wish you great good evening, day, everything. Hope to see you all on Monday again and tomorrow on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe over there. And until then, I just wish you a great good evening. Thank you for subscribing, lurking, chatting, gifting away subs, Little Beard. I saw that. Wish you all a fantastic time.